We are into the final day of the para swimming competition of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. This is the Paris Stade de France Arena in Nanterre, and this is the preliminary session. There's only one more session for our athletes to claim a place in the finals. Those finals will be swum in the very last session, the final session on day 10 of competition. Wonderful 50-metre pool, 25 metres wide, 10 lanes, 2.5 metres across. 8, though, are used in competition, and there will be several athletes going across the 27 heats and 13 events that we have to come. Frisch is in the house, the mascot, who's been posing for selfies almost continually since he arrived at the venue over an hour ago. There are many who filed their way into the venue to enjoy the para swimming. Para swimming that features 14 classifications. There are physical impairments, which see classes 1 to 10, 1 being the most severe, classes 11 to 13 for visually impaired swimmers, and then there's class 14 for those who are intellectually impaired, although the class 14 swimmers have completed their program at Paris 2024 in the competition pool. It's a preliminary session on day 10 of the para swimming competition that sees 27 heats in 13 events across 9 classifications. The 8 fastest qualifiers from each event will qualify for the subsequent final to be swum in the last session of the day. And this has been a remarkable competition in so many ways, where People's Republic of China topped the medal standings through day 9. They have 18 golds in their total of 44 medals. This is what you can expect on the program today. We bookend the competition with IMs, 200 IMs at the start and at the finish. Multiple Paralympic Games medalist Deb Gruen is alongside me, and Deb, there's a few sprints in between some IMs today, effectively, in the 200 freestyle S3. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, there's a big question. Is China going to sweep in the 200-meter individual medley class S5? Another good one should be the men's 200 free S3. 4 lengths of the pool, Unlu Umut. He was so fast during day 9. Can't wait to see what he does. And then, of course, the women's 100-meter butterfly S8. Jessica Long going against Great Britain's Alice Tai. That should be a good matchup.
That'll be a phenomenal matchup indeed, as Jessica Long goes for Paralympic Games medal number 31, should she make the final. That'll put her already in the pantheon of greats. That'll put her in the top 5 all time in terms of Paralympic Games medals, winter or summer. Plenty of cheers. There's a little dance cam goes on in the venue. This venue that is remarkably large also has the world's largest interactive giant screen. You can't see it from this angle, disappointingly, but anybody seated in the venue can. It's a genuinely exceptional multi-purpose facility. We begin this session with the men's 200-meter individual medley SM10 heats. There are 2 heats to come. Dennis Dubrov, the world record holder, and Maxim Kripak, the Paralympic Games record holder. Just 500ths of a second separate those 2 great Ukrainians in terms of times in this event. 8 competitors who go in the first heat, including 2 from Australia. Italy's Riccardo Menciotti. Sinazeh Minajad of Iran goes in lane 8 as well. The boundary breaker certainly for Iran in the pool. Several French flags that have been waving, but there's flags from all around the world. As people from all around the world have come to the venue to enjoy what has been a genuinely global competition, and a glowing competition at that. There have been 114 multi-medalists in the pool already. We've seen 28 world records, nearly 80 Paralympic Games records, over 100 continental records. It's been quite an exceptional meet. Felipe Lima de Souza leads out the competitors, the Brazilian, while Sinazeh Minajad, who goes in lane 8, last to emerge from the call room. But in lanes 3 and 4 from Australia, Alex Safi and Cole Pierce, and then Riccardo Menciotti of Italy, he goes in 5. They will likely be the quickest competitors in the pool. There's Pierce, there's Safi, Minai Akito of Japan, and Juan Felipe Lima de Souza. Cole Pierce, he looks ready for this race.
He looks relaxed. He looks smiling. He looks relaxed.
Fernando Liu, the 17-year-old from Canada, fourth at the Pan American Games. Alongside him, Alan Ogorzelek of Poland, sixth at the last World Championships. Well, Cole Pierce readies himself. Water on the face. 21-year-old from Melbourne. World Championship silver medalist at the last two events. Minciotti, fourth at the last World Championships, but he won silver at the European Championships. Very strong backstroke, very strong fly stroke, very strong breaststroke. Does he have the closing speed in the free? The first heat of the men's 200-meter individual medley SM10. Australians get away nicely in Pierce and Safi alongside one another, but Minciotti into his stroke looks good. So too does Minai of Japan in the fly stroke, but Cole Pierce looks ready to contest. He should have a fantastic start with his fly prowess. And he looks to be leading. 4 lengths of the pool, one in each stroke, starting with fly, then backstroke before breaststroke and freestyle. And Pierce will hit the wall first at 50.
He is, and so he's out in 27.49. That's a good first split. Remember, in the S10 classification, these are the swimmers with the least significant impairment, so they're very fast. And we talk sometimes about preliminaries and how to approach them, but you have to be careful in the S10 class because the swimmers are so fast. And so if they go for, too much of a training swim, they are in danger of not qualifying. But that does not seem to be the case right now with Cole Pierce, who's out comfortably in front in backstroke. He's going to turn into breaststroke. That is where the order often changes. But Pierce looks comfortable out ahead.
Safi touches fourth. The second Australian, Cole Pierce, is leading by some margin, but Safi should come back a little in this leg, the breaststroke leg. Minciotti and Ogorzelek find themselves second and third. And watch out for Minai, who's got a great breaststroke as well, if he can get himself back into the top 3. It's about posting times, really. Not so much your position. You want to post times quick enough to see you advance to the final. There are 16 competitors across the 2 heats, so you can't take it too easy in the heats. And you made that point, certainly in the higher classes, you certainly can't relax.
Now, Minciotti has made up a lot of ground on Cole Pierce during that breaststroke, which was Cole Pierce's weakest stroke. Look at the underwater, though, from Minciotti. He does seem to be running him down. The Polish swimmer also, Ogorzelek, is making a chase now in the freestyle.
Ogorzelek, yeah, very quick in the freestyle. Minciotti less so in the freestyle, and maybe even being reeled in by the Polish swimmer. Cole Pierce has got this under control, and he looks to have shut it down. Safi coming back at Minai now, might touch fourth, but it's going to be Australia's Cole Pierce comfortably to the wall. Ogorzelek, I think, is going to beat Minciotti, and indeed does. The top 3 should qualify with their time. Sub 220 is likely to see you into the final. So 2:16.19. The winning time. Cole Pierce of Australia. Now, how good was his opening 100? And how good was Alan Ogorzelek's back 100 in this race?
So Cole Pierce, right off the start, got out to that early lead in the fly, and he seemed to have some easy speed during that first 50. He gets into the breaststroke. Breaststroke, clearly his weakest leg, getting run down by Minciotti and Ogorzelek from Poland. But then they come into the freestyle, where Cole Pierce comes back into his own. Minciotti almost got run down there, but just managed to sneak in.
Cole Pierce in 2:16.19 takes heat 1 ahead of Alan Ogorzelek of Poland, Minciotti of Italy third, Safi with a 2:20. I'll be watching the second heat with a great deal of interest. start list for the second heat features 8 competitors from Argentina, Canada, neutral Paralympic athlete, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal, Ukraine and Czechia. Raimondi, though, goes as the favorite for Italy in lane 4. He was the Tokyo silver medalist, but he's the reigning world champion, he's the European champion. Raimondi in 4. That's a great start from Alec Elliott of Canada going in lane 2. And he's going to have some swim to get himself in and around the times quick enough to qualify for the final. It's not unthinkable. He's gone 2:17 this year. 2:20 should get you into the final. But Raimondi taking a lead. But it's Nimchenko as well of Ukraine. The fly silver medalist here in the 100 who's hit the wall first.
Look at this butterfly from Nimchenko. I will say, I mean, Raimondi is a 2:07 swimmer. So he should be able to go pretty easy during prelims. And you see him right now. I mean, he's already won a whole bunch of medals here in Paris 2024. It shouldn't be a problem for him to take this meet and to take this heat. And already in the backstroke, Raimondi is catching Nimchenko from Ukraine.
Well, Raimondi is a multiple medalist across 2 Paralympic Games, but he finds himself enjoying a very good year in and out of the pool. Not only has he picked up 4 medals, including 3 golds here, but welcomed his son Eduardo into the world earlier this year in February with his partner Giulia Terzi. Meanwhile, this is where Raimondi should get the lead back from Nimchenko. Watch Backstroke of Netherlands as well. Very strong back and breaststroker. And Cordeiro of Portugal is showing some great breaststroke strength.
And you can see Raimondi out ahead. Raimondi won the 100 breaststroke. So we know what a phenomenal breaststroke he is. And the other swimmers are starting to gain some ground on him, but he is taking it easy right now.
It's not unlike Raimondi or Barlam, for example, of Italy, to not qualify quickest and then go all out in the finals. They are sometimes happy to take it easier in the preliminaries and then close it out with a big performance in the final. Raimondi, 25 meters to go, is in front. He's ahead of Backstroke, and Artem Isaev as well is showing some speed. Coming back at Cordeiro, and Nimchenko down in 5th as it stands. Alec Elliott has just fallen a little back. This is going to be Raimondi to the wall fairly comfortably ahead of Tucken. 3rd is Isaev, 4th Nimchenko, Cordeiro 5th. Colpiers touched in 2:16. Raimondi touches in 2:17. He'll qualify 2nd quickest for the final. Will go in lane 5. But he took it very easy, did Raimondi. He can take a good 10 seconds off his time come the final.
Oh, at least. And he's looking a little scruffy.
Oh,
maybe he'll shave for finals.
For streamline purposes, of course.
So you see Raimondi, and he has a beautiful breaststroke, such a strong breaststroker, and you knew just how easy he was taking it because the other swimmers started to actually come up on him during the breaststroke, and then he shot ahead during the freestyle, and he's not even going to qualify fastest here, but his fastest time is way ahead of everybody else.
So Raimondi had his race completely under control. He takes heat 2. Not in the quickest qualifying time, but he will swim in lane 5 for the final. Raimondi, Tucken, Isaev, Nimchenko, Cordeiro, all sub 2:20. That's a time that you needed to beat, I suspected, coming into this heat. Elliott will miss out with his 2:20. Minai misses out with a 2:20.30. So too Alex Safi with a 2:20.22. But into the finals, Cordeiro, Nimchenko, Isaev, Menciotti, Ogorzalek, Tucken, Raimondi and Pierce. 2 heats to enjoy in the women's 200-meter individual medley SM10. Chantal Zederveld is still swimming remarkably well, but is not entered.
No, she's focused on the breaststroke here.
She's completely focused on the breaststroke in Paris 2024. Now we have 7 competitors in the first heat. Winnett, Hodge, LeBrun, Kruger, Greenwood, Cosgrove and Smith of New Zealand. There's Lisa Kruger, so often smiling, listening to a little music, getting herself ready feeling amped. Bronze medalist in Tokyo, Krüger, after 4th in Rio. She was the world champion 2 years ago, finished in silver medal position last year, but won the European Championships. There's Taylor Winnett. She'll go in 1 for USA. Jasmine Greenwood goes for Australia in lane 5. The Commonwealth Games champion is Gabby Smith, 18-year-old on her Paralympic Games debut. Christchurch-based, 7th of the last, well, the worst World Championships 2 years ago. Lebrun of Belgium goes in lane 3 at her 2nd Paralympic Games, the 19-year-old. 6th at the last 2 World Championships, but she won silver behind Krüger at the last European Championships, going 2:33. Cosgrove of Canada, the 18-year-old.
Take your marks.
Lebrun gets away nicely in 3 for Belgium, but Krüger using the underwater well. Does not come up in front. Cosgrove is leading the way from Greenwood in the early stages of this race. 4 lengths of the pool, starting with butterfly, then into back, then into breast, then into freestyle. As Taylor Winnett looks to be swimming well in lane 1. But watch Cosgrove of Canada and indeed Krüger of Netherlands.
So Krüger, Greenwood, Cosgrove, and Winnett all out fast in the first 50. Lisa Krüger, I mean, she was a multiple medalist in Tokyo, has been struggling a bit more here in Paris, but this class S10 is so quick now, and there's a number of new faces. But Cosgrove out a little bit ahead of Greenwood and Krüger right now. Then they're going to transition into the breaststroke. Krüger, a phenomenal breaststroker, and I think if there's one place for her to start to make up some ground, it is in that 3rd leg of the IM.
Yeah, this is where certainly the likes of Krüger and De Bruyne will be fancying fighting back at the remainder of the field. Cosgrove, though, she got the back 100 to match the opening 100. She leads through 100 in the 200 IM, but much depends on this 3rd leg, and this is where Krüger is going to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and you can see right now she is going past Cosgrove, who does not have as strong of a breaststroke. Greenwood and also Lebrun coming up now in the breaststroke.
So Krüger leading from Lebrun. Cosgrove is now back in 4th as Greenwood has gone past her as well, and so too Cengiz Hotz, the 16-year-old from Hungary, who was 8th of the last 2 World Championships, showing some fine breaststroke technique and speed. She goes well in lane 2. Taylor Winnett falling away in the breaststroke leg for USA. Krüger ahead of Lebrun, not by much, but effectively 2 seconds ahead of Greenwood of Australia. And Krüger and Lebrun can battle it out at the front. Greenwood still in 3rd, ahead of Hotz, who swam well in the breaststroke. But it's Krüger just ahead of Lebrun. Netherlands and Belgium side by side. Geographically neighbours. And the 2 from neighbouring countries are going to finish 1-2, I suspect, with Greenwood in 3rd. And Krüger will take it from Lebrun, with Greenwood 3rd, Hotz 4th. Gabby Smith with a fine 5th place finish at 2:38 for the young New Zealand swimmer. Cosgrove 6th, Winnett 7th. So Krüger 2:34. The European champion, former world champion, fairly comfortable.
There's a disqualification from Hungary in this heat, but that doesn't affect the top 3 swimmers. Krüger, she took it fairly comfortable. She swam this pretty comfortably. She was out early during the butterfly, backstroke, and then breaststroke is where she made up a lot of ground. Krüger's such a strong breaststroker, and that's where they blew through Cosgrove. And it was Lebrun and Krüger out during this freestyle. Krüger adds a little kick at the end, touches in 2:34.81. So not a super fast swim for her, but just comfortable enough to win the heat.
Confirming the results then, disqualification for Cengiz Hotz of Hungary. It is Krüger ahead of Lebrun, ahead of Greenwood, Gabriella Smith. Gabby Smith in New Zealand. We'll be watching the second heat with a great deal of interest. So Laurandi of France is a medical withdrawal. She's unable to start the race in lane 1. But Stevens, Zhang, Pap, Rogers, Jablonska and Chen will start.
That's disappointing for this French crowd.
Yeah, one of the grand ambassadors for French para swimming over the years. She was silver medalist in this event in Beijing, was Laurandi. Pap goes, though, as the favorite. The Tokyo silver medalist in 3:26 after Rio bronze. 2:26, I should say. Rogers. That 100 fly gold here was exceptional. Do not expect anything less than Rogers leading at the 50.
Take your marks.
Getting away well for Australia in lane 2, Kira Stevens, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist. So, Faye Rogers and Kira Stevens having a little battle in the early stages. Kira Stevens ahead of Rogers. Rogers should build into the opening 50 and touch first before they head into the backstroke leg.
And Kira Stevens now fading. Faye Rogers taking the end of the first 50, and she will comfortably touch first as we had expected. So she's out 31.59, over a second ahead of Kira Stevens as they transition into backstroke.
She's going to need to build up an advantage over the front half of the race is Faye Rogers. The breaststroke so often dictates the order of the finishes.
It does, and also watch Bianca Papp from Hungary right now in this backstroke. We saw Bianca Papp win gold in the S10 100-meter backstroke, and this is where she's starting to make a move, and she's made up a lot of ground on Faye Rogers.
So Papp, very strong backstroker. Zhang Meng as well, the Asian Para Games gold medalist, going in lane 3, has a good strong backstroke, gets herself up to within striking distance of Jablonska of Poland, swimmer from Wrocław, who goes in lane 6. Very good fly, very good free. Jablonska is falling away though in the breaststroke, and this is where Zhang Meng will get herself into a position to challenge for top spot. And she might even go past Papp here. Rogers is still leading. Papp expected to make up ground on Rogers in the breaststroke, but Zhang Meng is showing an incredible breaststroke leg.
She is, and Faye Rogers quickly fading in this breaststroke. Now, she's going to come back with a strong freestyle, so never fear. But she is struggling during this breaststroke to keep up with Zhang and Papp. She turns out the wall third. Zhang, though, has a pretty commanding lead now at the final 50.
Not a particularly high stroke rate from any one of the swimmers. And Papp is showing a little more impetus than Zhang Meng in the closing stages. Zhang Meng has been around at the Paralympic Games for some time. She's 28 now. She won bronze in London, looking to medal in this event yet again. And she'll qualify for the final fairly comfortably. Behind Papp and Rogers, she will touch. Papp first, Rogers will come to the wall next, and then Zhang of People's Republic of China. But all comfortably into the final 2:33, 2:34 and 2:35. So a quicker heat, Papp touching faster than Lisa Krüger's winning time in heat 1. Maybe a second gold medal loading for Bianca Papp. She qualifies quickest for the final.
I think that the swimmers during both of these heats took it fairly comfortably. So Bianca Papp will qualify first here. She's not the strongest butterflyer. That clearly went to Faye Rogers, who took a commanding lead during this first 50. I expect we'll see her do the same tonight. It was in the backstroke where Bianca Papp made up a lot of ground, and this is where Faye Rogers struggled to hang on. Then we got to the breaststroke where Papp and Zhang went ahead of Faye Rogers. Papp, though, not the strongest breaststroker, and then was able to hold on for the freestyle. So she'll qualify first, 2:33.28, but the other swimmers, I mean, all of them were well off their seed time. So I do expect a quicker final once they're all combined into a single heat tonight during finals.
It should be intriguing to see how they go, but Pap, the Tokyo silver medalist, and Krige, the Tokyo bronze medalist, will swim side by side in the final. So, confirming the results then. Well, the disqualification for Chen. Chang Meng, meanwhile, in the top three. She's comfortably through to the final. So Kira Stevens sneaking in with her sub 240. These are the swimmers who advance. Pap qualifies quickest ahead of Krige. Rogers third fastest. But Antipodean success in the pool. Australia have 2 and New Zealand 1 in the final as well. 2 heats to come in the men's 100-meter backstroke S6. Chung Tao's world record, 1:10.84. And how many times we've referred to Chung Tao's world records and then seen them smashed. Guo Jincheng, I should mention, does not go in this race, an S6 classification. There are 5 competitors, though, who go in the first of 2 heats in the men's 100-meter backstroke S6. Daniel Figueira of Portugal last to make his way out. Only one of the Gutierrez brothers will swim this event. The youngest of them, Jesus, who will go in lane 2 in this first heat. Going for Argentina, Matias de Andrade goes as the silver medalist from Tokyo in lane 4. He's one of the favourites for the title. There's Videira of Portugal, who goes in 6. Alongside him is Dino Sinovic, who goes for Croatia. Former world champion, silver at the European Championships. There's Jesus Gutierrez, 17-year-old, who's already claimed his first Paralympic Games medal here. Won bronze in the 400-meter freestyle. Thijs van Hofwegen, 7th in both Rio and Tokyo. He's picked up relay silver in Paris already, but looks for individual success as well. He was really strong at the European Championships, van Hofwegen. Away they go with the men's 100-meter backstroke S6 first heat, and Van Hofwegen, the bronze medalist at the European Championships, showing a little pace early on, but Sinovcic up very quickly. Watch out for De Andrade. He's got a good second 50 as well. Has the endurance in this race to be able to close out the second 50 faster than the swimmers around him, but got to say that Sinovcic is looking really strong in 5.
He is, and this is a very competitive class. So this is the 100-meter backstroke, 2 lengths of the pool. Sinovcic struggles on the turn there, doesn't really get a push off. He's entirely driven by his arms, so he's got to keep up the quick stroke rate. And look at De Andrade coming up next to him. He's making up some ground, trying to chase him down during the second 50, and actually has now taken the lead.
That's precisely what he would have planned to do. Does have a very strong back end to his race, does the Argentine, who goes in lane 4 as the silver medalist from Tokyo. He's got the endurance, he's got the stamina. He doesn't have a commanding lead, but it looks like he'll reach the wall ahead of Sinovcic of Croatia. Argentina will touch first through De Andrade, ahead of Sinovcic by half a second effectively. Van Hofwegen of Netherlands touches now in 1:19.19. 4th is Videira, and Gutierrez in 1:25 hits the wall now.
So here's the start, and you can see that all of the swimmers in this heat are upper body driven. They don't really get much off the start. They don't get much off the turn. Sinofchis went into the turn first at the wall, but you can see he doesn't really get anything off the wall. Right next to him, De Andrade does that double arm pull out, takes the lead, keeps up that quick stroke rate. Sinofchis, though, he did seem to kind of shut it down at the end, but both of them had good swims. Both of them 1:16, only separated by about half a second.
So De Andrade takes it from Sinofchis ahead of Van Hofwegen. Three Chinese swimmers go in the three center lanes, flanked by David Sanchez of Spain and Antonio Fantin of Italy. In the second heat of two in the men's 100-meter backstroke S6. There's Fantin. Great successes already here in Paris. 100 freestyle gold medalist, 400-meter freestyle silver medalist. But Wang Jing'an, Yang Hong and Jia Hongwang go in 3, 4 and 5. David Sanchez of Spain in 6. Yang Hong is the reigning world champion. He won gold at the Asian Para Games as well in 1:14. 2 golds in 3 events in Paris. Here's Wang Jing'an, 5th in Tokyo in this event, 4th at the last World Championships. Already has 2 golds in Paris, does Wang. Yang Hong gets away very nicely. He was just off the podium in Tokyo. He is looking to make up for that here in Paris with another success. So China looking for a 1, 2, 3. Wang Jing'an is leading the way, but coming back at him now is Yang Hong and Jia Hongwang.
And Fantin from Italy is up in lane 2 with that blue cap. Fantin, not as strong as a backstroker as he is a freestyler. He's already won gold in the 100 free. He was 2nd in the 400 free. He's in 5th right now. Does not have the arm speed to match the powerful legs of the 3 Chinese swimmers up ahead.
Great leg drive from Jia Hongwang. He might be caught by Yang Hong in the closing 50 here. Yang Hong showing some speed alongside him, so too Wang Jing'an. All representing China, but all swimming with different color swim caps. Jia in the red, Yang in the white, and in the black is Wang. They lead at the moment. Fantin and Sanchez are having a battle for 4th here. Fantin looks to be leading that battle. Yang Hong might just be taking it easily here. He's swimming nowhere near his times. Jia Hongwang, the 8-time Paralympic Games medalist. No medals in Paris, though. Might qualify. Doesn't qualify quickest, but he'll have lane 3 for the final. Jia Hongwang touches ahead of Yang Hong. Wang 3rd. 4th is Fantin, and 5th Sanchez. 1:17.35. So the swimmers taking a little off in the preliminaries.
So that was a tighter heat, but a slower heat overall. And the 3 Chinese swimmers, they dive backwards. All of them use a device at the start, and then they're entirely on their legs. But you could see that even though they were out ahead, they did seem to be laying off a little bit and saving their legs for the finals. Jia Hongwang finished first with 1:17.35, so off of his sea time a bit. And Wang Jing'an and Yang Hong also qualifying 2nd and 3rd.
Jia Hongwang ahead of Yang Hong and Wang Jing'an. China 1, 2, 3. Antonio Fantin will reach the final, though. These are the competitors who have qualified for the men's 100-meter backstroke S6 final. De Andrade ahead of Sinofchis, 3 Chinese swimmers as well. 2 heats to come in the women's 100-meter backstroke S6. Ellie Marks, the world record holder, sub 120. She'll go as the favorite in heat 2. Maya Rada Moral, Nora Meister, Zhang Yuyan, Anna Hunter, Ariana Talamona and Nomun Khurel of Mongolia go in this first heat. But if the name Zhang Yuyan seems familiar, it's because we've been calling it
A lot.
as gold medalists throughout these games. Zhang Yuliang is the most successful swimmer at Paris 2024, the most successful athlete at these games. 6 gold medals in 7 events for Zhang Yuliang. And this isn't her strongest event, but in the form that she's in, she could certainly challenge for not only a podium place, but even gold against the world record holder Ellie Marks. Will go in heat 2.
Now, Zhang has been 120.5 before, so that is just hovering about a second away from the world record. If Ellie Marks doesn't swim her times, I think she's in danger of getting beat by Zhang Yuliang. Although Zhang may be tiring a little bit. We saw her fading during the end of the 400 freestyle during day 9. She has a tough program here, but she's such a strong competitor.
She won this title at the Asian Para Games. Gold is one of her 7 titles in Hangzhou. Zhang Yuliang. Tokyo silver medalist. There's Ariana Talamona. Arita Sam, bronze at the last European Championships. 100-meter backstroke S6. The competitors in the pool. Some require a little assistance at the start.
Your marks.
So into the race proper. Watch the underwater from Zhang Yuliang, and how big is her lead going to be through the opening 15 meters. About half a body length at the moment ahead of Anna Hontar, who's a very fine backstroker and somebody who will challenge Zhang Yuliang in this race if she can swim to her best times. And at the moment, Zhang Yuliang doesn't look to be taking too much of a lead away from Hontar. Meister currently 3rd ahead of Talamona.
And you have to wonder with Zhang Yuliang, is she conserving anything for the finals? Anna Hontar making up ground on her. She's starting to pull in. Zhang Yuliang's going to have the advantage on the wall. But here's Anna Hontar, who's also searching for her first gold medal of this meet. She had a surprising upset in some of the sprint events, and here she is potentially looking to challenge Zhang.
No, you're right. Anna Hontar has picked up 3 bronze medals so far in the pool. Coming back as Nora Meister in lane 3, the Swiss swimmer, European Championship silver medalist. Not enough to deny Talamona's Hontar's second spot, but enough to deny Talamona a finish in the top 3, surely. Zhang Yuliang will come to the wall now in 1:23.08. Hontar second, and Meister of Switzerland at 1:27 for the silver medalist in the 400 freestyle here. Burel of Mongolia, 17-year-old and emerging talent who is a bronze medalist. Previously, the first Mongolian swimmer to compete at the Asian Para Games when she swam in Hangzhou. Zhang Yuliang in 1:23.08 takes the first heat in the women's 100-meter backstroke S6.
So here's the start. Zhang Yuliang, as expected, did go out with that early lead. You can see her touching ahead of Anna Hontar. She's got the advantage off of the wall. She's able to do a bit of an underwater. Anna Hontar trying to make up ground. And you can see Zhang Yuliang, she was tiring here at the end, and that actually opened it up for Anna Hontar to go. But both of them with a fairly comfortable swim, 1:23, 1:25. So both of them capable of going significantly faster during finals.
The second heat features the world record holder and defending champion Ellie Marks of USA. Schott, Marks, Newkirk, Drew and Tepavichute going in the second heat. Ellie Marks, she looked very relaxed. About an hour and a half before the session started, she was out on the pool deck and just laughing and joking with Jessica Long, who will go later in the session in the S8 fly. It seems very relaxed, Ellie Marks. She's picked up 4 silver medals in 6 events so far. No golds, but this is the event she dominates. Ellie Marks gets away well, the defending champion, now 34. She finished 5th at the World Championships last year. She was well off her times. But the 2019 World Champion has been swimming close to her times in other events so far in Paris, and maybe that's an indication that she is back to her best. Is leading from Shelby Newkirk here, the World Champion last year, Shelby Newkirk of Canada.
And Marks has had a little bit of trouble during these games in that she does typically race during prelims. She doesn't take it too easy. She doesn't coast. She always gives it her all. But in the 50 fly, for example, she had a great prelim swim and then faded during the finals. So she has to be careful that she doesn't expend too much energy in prelims with that strategy and then not have enough in the tank for finals, where some of the other swimmers who might have taken it more comfortably during prelims have more energy.
Ellie Marks is doing enough just to win this heat. She's somewhere ahead of the reigning world champion of Canada. 3rd at the moment looks to be Zhu Ji, the teenager, the silver medalist at the Asian Para Games. Marks to the wall using the tapper. She also has visual impairments. Marks in 1:20.83 will qualify quickest. Shelby Newkirk a 1:24.2 with a 1:29. Shot to the wall outside 1:30 at 1:31. Kibovichutek in 1:37 and 1:39 Feng. Well, the world record holder. She looked very comfortable in swimming to a 1:20 to qualify quickest.
And that was a solid swim from Ellie Marks. You see her get off the block quickest, stays underwater for just a little bit and then pops up. Here she gets the tap at the end of the 50, goes into the wall first, does a slight fly kick underwater and then pops up. And she went 1:20.83, which is just over a second off of her world record. So that was a solid swim from Ellie Marks for prelims. But like I said, she does have a tendency to swim well during prelims, unlike some of the other swimmers who coast it a bit. And then Ellie Marks at finals needs to make sure she's got enough energy that she can challenge someone like Zhang Yuyan, who swam a 1:23 in prelims, but we know she's capable of a lot more.
1:20.83 wins it for Ellie Marks from Shelby Newkirk. So qualifying for the final, Talamona is in of Italy, but watch out for this final because Newkirk, Zhang and Ellie Marks are all 1:20 swimmers. Marks obviously the world record holder though at a 1:19. Two heats to come in the men's 100-meter butterfly S8. Song Maodong, the world record holder, sub 60 seconds in a very quick 59.19. Reid Maxwell, Noah Jaffe, Wu Hongliang, Diogo Cancella and Michal Golis go in the first heat. There are 10 competitors across the 2 heats. Only 2 swimmers to miss out on the final. Some butterfly action for you to enjoy. There is Diogo Cancella, the Portuguese star, 22-year-old who was 3rd at the European Championships in April. Representing China is the Asian Para Games gold medalist Wu Hongliang. He was silver medalist at the last World Championships behind Alberto Amadeo of Italy, who goes in the second heat. Poland's Golis going in lane 6. And there's Jaffe, bronze at the World Championships. Jaffe already having claimed his first Paralympic Games medal, a silver in the men's 100-meter freestyle on day 9 of competition. Reid Maxwell of Canada, the 17-year-old silver medalist in the 400 freestyle, which is his main event, goes in lane 2. Brilliant start from Goles of Poland, going in 6. Now, the underwater from Wu Hongliang is usually exceptional indeed. He comes out just in front of Goles at the moment. Wu Hongliang, the 30-year-old, only lost out a gold medal, I think, by 0.08 of a second at the World Championships, so is very quick in 2 lengths of the pool in butterfly.
He is, but watch out for Reed Maxwell and Noah Jaffe. They may not have the speed of Wu Hongliang, but they've been swimming remarkably well during these games. I don't think I'm still over the 400 freestyle yet. I mean, that was such a swim with Amodeo, and he's coming up in heat 2. But look at Wu Hongliang right now, trying to hang on for first here during heat 1 of the prelims.
So Wu Hongliang is leading from Goles at the moment. Coming back at them is Jaffe. Jaffe's strong back end is proving significant here, and he's making up an enormous amount of ground on the swimmers ahead of him. Wu's going to get to the wall first, though, ahead of Goles, ahead of Jaffe. Cantella 4th and Maxwell 5th. How solid was that close from Jaffe?
It is solid, yeah.
Top 3 automatically qualify for the final, given there are only 5 competitors to come in the second heat.
So Wu Hongliang out quick, as we had expected him to do. He's out at the wall nicely. Noah Jaffe, though, significantly behind at the 50. What a back half for him. So Wu Hongliang finishing first in 104.59. Goles also had a nice finish from Poland with 105.32, and then Noah Jaffe coming in at 105.34. A good swim for him. Wu Hongliang a little bit off of his sea time, can go faster during the finals when he's next to someone who, you know, we expect to see like Amodeo.
So Wu ahead of Goles, ahead of Jaffe, Cancella and Maxwell will watch the times in the second heat. Michalentzakis, Silva de Souza, Amodeo, Lee and Young go in the second heat of the men's 100 fly S8. Amodeo is the European champion, he's the reigning world champion, and how he has improved not only his freestyle events since Tokyo, but indeed in the butterfly as well. Michalentzakis won gold in Rio in the S9 classification. Getting away well is Gabriel Silva de Souza, goes in 3 for Brazil. The bronze medalist 2 years ago at the World Championships and the Pan American Games gold medalist. He leads from Michalentzakis in the early stages of this men's 100-meter butterfly S8. 2 lengths of the pool in butterfly. And has he got the final 50 to match the likes of Amodeo and Li Ting?
Wow, so Amodeo was really behind after the starts there, but has made up significant ground. The Brazilian touching first, but Amodeo only 3/100ths of a second behind him. And once he gets into his stroke, he is too powerful, really, for just about anybody in this heat. He just needs to pass the Brazilian, and he should come to a comfortable first. Now, he's not breathing to his right, so we can't really see him. But Amodeo getting a nice race from Li Ting from China to his left.
Well, it's turning out to be a very good finish from Li Ting. Amodeo and Li Ting, who's going to have it on the stroke at the wall? They're neck and neck. It's going to be Amodeo just ahead of Li on the stroke, takes it. Young with a good finish ahead of Michalentzakis as de Souza fades to 5th. A 104.48, so he qualifies quickest for the final, does Amodeo. 104.50, 2/100ths of a second back. Amodeo and Li Ting will swim alongside one another in the final. In fact, Amodeo will be flanked by 2 Chinese swimmers.
Look at this start from Amodeo. Now, He does not have the strongest start. He was actually a lot behind the other swimmers, but managed to get himself up into about second at the 50. It was the Brazilian swimmer who touched first, but Amodeo has this tremendous stroke. His wingspan is long. It's very powerful. There was a late charge from Li Ting, who was on his time there, and Amodeo just enough to touch first at the wall, and he will be the fastest qualifier with a 1:04.48.
So Amodeo to the wall first by 0.02 of a second from Li Ting. There is a disqualification though. Gabriel Silva de Souza is disqualified. But finishing first, Amodeo ahead of Li Ting, ahead of Yang. All three qualifying for the final. So Cancela is into the final with a 1:06.76. But Amodeo will be flanked by two Chinese swimmers in the final. This is the women's 100-meter butterfly S8 heats. 2 heats to come. Stephanie Slater of Great Britain, a 1:08.20, the world record. Denisenko's 1:09 stands as the Paralympic Games record from victory in Rio. Six swimmers who go, including Victoria Shulova, who goes alongside Brock Whiston. Shulova, the silver medalist from Tokyo, the 19-year-old who won bronze at the last World Championships. Brock Whiston going in this event, usually breast and freestyle, but is an excellent IMer and has improved rather well as a fly swimmer recently. So Maria Aragon of Argentina, Victoria da Silva Ribeiro of Brazil, Victoria Shulova, neutral Paralympic athlete, Great Britain's Brock Whiston, China's Xu Hui, just 15 years old, and Husna Kukundakwe of Uganda, more of a breaststroker, but swimming fly here as well. The Ugandan goes at the age of 17 at her second Paralympic Games. She was the youngest in Tokyo at 14. First Ugandan to qualify for the swimming event at the Paralympic Games. So, Brock Whiston going in 5. Husna Kukundakwe, she's already gotten a continental record swimming at Paris 2024. But aiming for a first final. She smashed the continental record in the 50 free here. Whiston in 5, Shulova in 4, the Tokyo silver medalist.
Take your marks.
Getting away well was Shulova. The Pan American Games champion Victoria da Silva Ribeiro gets away strongly as well and is challenging Shulova in the early stages. Kukundakwe has got a good start and she finds herself in 3rd in the early stages.
Now, Ishulova is still searching for her first gold medal here in Paris. Brock Whiston, you mentioned what a great breaststroker she is, and she is. She actually didn't win the event, though, but she did win the 200 IM, so we know she's powerful in the butterfly, and here she is trying to make up some ground on Ishulova.
So it's the Brazilian at the wall first at 50. She went 1:17 to win by a fairly comfortable margin at the Pan American Games. She's since gone 1:15. And she's been caught now by Shulova. Whiston is 3rd. With Xu Hui of China 4th at the moment. Kukundakwe 5th and Aragon of Argentina 6th. Going past Ribeiro now is Shulova. Whiston looking to chase down the Brazilian as well. And to the wall first is Shulova in 1:13. Whiston touches now. And Ribeiro in a 1:16. Xu Hui a 1:17. Kukundakwe comes to the wall in 1:25. And Aragon of Argentina touching sub 1:30, 1:29.82. A long way behind at 50. But did not matter. Strong, strong final 50 from Ishulova, who maintained her pace.
She did, and you see Ishulova gets off the block quickly. She's right next to Brock Whiston, and you can see how quick she is. Now, the Brazilian went out quickly, but she faded hard during the last 25 meters, and Ishulova, along with Brock Whiston, went right past her. Ishulova finishing nicely with a comfortable 1:13.97. You know, she's going to have to race Jessica Long and Alice Tai during Heat 2. They're going to be quick, so Ishulova still searching for that gold.
We await the official results in the first heat of the women's 100-meter butterfly S8. And that might mean there's a disqualification coming. That said, as things stand, it is Ishulova ahead of Whiston, ahead of Ribeiro. So no disqualification to come, just a little deliberation perhaps. Ishulova in 1:13.97, 2 seconds ahead of Whiston in 1:15.97. Two Chinese swimmers go, but they flank the two favorites in Alice Tai and Jessica Long in lanes 4 and 5. Maria Pavlova going in 7, and Laura Gonzalez of Colombia going in lane 2. Jessica Long, 3 times champion in this event. The 32-year-old, 6-time and reigning world champion, goes in 5. The 2019 champion, though, is Alice Tai, who's having a superb time in Paris. And she goes as among the favourites for the title in lane 4, swimming alongside Jessica Long, and many expecting this to be the main battle for gold come the final.
Yeah, now Alice Tai is going to have the advantage on the start, and she's going to have the advantage on the wall. But look at Jessica Long making up some serious ground on Alice Tai. Alice Tai breathing to her right there so she can see Jess from the side. And now Alice Tai goes into the wall first, going to have the advantage over Jessica, but Jessica's such a strong closer.
She's a strong closer, and she's absolutely textbook in the free and the fly strokes. She's somebody who's got incredible technique. Alice Tai, though, is getting back to her pre-amputation times, and that is quick. Jessica Long knows there's a massive battle on her hands, but she's got the fast close. Will she use it in the heats?
Hard to say. I mean, Alice Tai now does have the slight advantage, but here's Jess. Jess always races her best. And now Jess moving right ahead of Alice Tai, who seems to be fading.
So Jessica Long, 30-time Paralympic Games medalist, 17-time champion, comes to the wall first ahead of Alice Tai in the second heat. Liu and Jiang, 3rd and 4th. Gonzalez, 5th. And now to the wall, Pavlova, 6th. A 1:11 versus 1:12. They qualify as the two fastest and will go alongside one another in the final in lanes 4 and 5. Somewhere ahead of Liu Weiyuan and Jiang Sheng'an.
So you can see Alice Tai gets ahead of Jessica on the start. She's also got the advantage on the wall. Alice Tai touches just slightly ahead of Jess at the first 50. She comes, she does the slight underwater. She gets the lead again during the back half. But Alice Tai seemed to kind of fade during the last 15 meters. Jess just went right past her. So Jessica had a great swim in 1:11. Alice Tai, though, really fading at the end, did not have a great swim. She went 1:12.30, and this is a 1:09 swimmer. So either she kind of shut it down during the last 20 minutes, or she's starting to actually tire here.
A 1:11.36 beats 1:12.30, but they do qualify quickest overall for the final. Jessica Long will seek gold medal number 18 in this event. She qualifies quickest ahead of Alice Tai. Ishulova, 3rd fastest. Two heats to come in the men's 50-meter butterfly S7. Pan Shiyun, the world record holder, at 28.41. Evan Austin is not too far off that, so too Andrei Trusov. Suyasnarayan Chadov. We've waited 9 days, and on day 10, he makes his first appearance at Paris 2024. At his third Paralympic Games, the great Indian swimmer, India's only swimmer at Paris 2024, in his only event here. He goes in lane 2. To Sung of Singapore, the Asian Para Games gold medalist, goes as well, but alongside him is the Tokyo champion Evan Austin, the 2019 world champion, the current Pan American Games gold medalist. Christian Sadi goes for South Africa in 5. Igor Frosinin goes in lane 6, and Yuri Shener goes for Ukraine in 7. There is To Sung. He was 4th in Tokyo, just off the medals, the Asian Para Games gold medalist. He's sub 30 seconds in this distance. Frosinin, alongside him is Sadi. Austin looks ready for this race. One of the US team captains is Evan Austin. Very much a leader. So 1 length of the pool in butterfly in this S7 classification. That is a great underwater from Sadi. Austin alongside him, though, is looking to make up a little ground. Austin has the reach advantage, certainly over Sadi, but these two have pulled away from the others through the opening 25 meters and are heading towards the wall. Sadi just ahead of Austin. Austin should close strongest. Sadi is not relenting, though. Austin has the reach advantage, comes to the wall first, ahead of Sadi, Frosin in 3rd, and To 4th, Jala 5th, and Shener 6th. So 29.90, Austin sub 30 seconds. Sadi will qualify 2nd quickest for the final. And the top 2 automatically qualify for the final, given there are only 6 competitors to swim in the second final, in the second heat rather.
And here's the start. Christian Sadi from South Africa, swimming a great 50 fly here during prelims. He was just on his time. And, you know, Evan Austin, we were kind of expecting him to blow past Sadi, but Sadi not giving up very easily. And it was just at the end, Austin's reach, where he was able to get his hands on the wall first, just ahead of Christian Sadi. So Austin going 29.9, a solid swim from him. He's gonna have to be faster if he wants to win gold, as he did in Tokyo, but a good swim from both of them.
29.90, Austin sub 30 seconds, beats Sadi, Frosin in 3rd, To 4th. 6 competitors who go in the second heat, 2 from Ukraine, and Carlos Serrano of Colombia among the favorites, going in lane 5. Iñaki Basilov having a good time in Paris as well, already with success in the pool, having smashed the 200 IM with gold. How fast was his close in the 200 IM? It was sensational, where he also swam a very good butterfly leg, it must be said. Carlos Serrano, the 26-year-old, former world champion, the silver medalist last time out in Manchester, Pan American Games silver medalist, though, behind Evan Austin. Will go as the Tokyo bronze medalist in lane 5. Andrei Trusov of Ukraine, 2-time and reigning world champion. He was beaten at the European Championships, though. Finds himself as the Tokyo silver medalist, going in lane 4, with the quickest seed time, sub 29 seconds. Great start from Serrano. The Colombian has an excellent start and a wonderful underwater and into his stroke now. He's not in front, though. Bogodaiko is leading the way. Evgeny Bogodaiko, he's been a world championship silver medalist previously. He won bronze in 23, but the London and Rio silver medalist is now starting to fade. Serrano's gone past him, and Trusov is looking to go past him as well. Don't worry about the time. It's about qualifying for the final, and Serrano's going to take it here ahead of Trusov and Bogodaiko, who touch at the same time. 30.33 seconds. But Serrano, 29.43. He qualifies quickest from the heats and will have lane 4 for the final.
So Bodaiko got off to a phenomenal start here, and he really uses his underwater, and he's battling Trusov here. Trusov has the longer reach, of course, and Zarate out ahead of both of them. And it was really during this last couple of strokes where you can see Bodaiko and Trusov coming in together. I can't believe they hit at the same time, 30.33. So both of them a little bit off their times, but Trusov's capable of going sub 29. So if he's on his time, challenging for gold is for sure within his reach.
So Semyonov's has been disqualified, but both Bodaiko and Trusov touching in 30.33 seconds after Serrano hit the wall first in 29.43. Serrano qualifies subsequently, quickest for the final, ahead of the defending champion Evan Austin. Stade of South Africa qualifies the third quickest and will have lane 3. But Bodaiko and Trusov quick and certainly to watch in the final. Well, there are 2 heats to come in the women's 50-meter butterfly S7. Daniel Doris, the world record holder, will go in lane 4 in the second heat. The only swimmer to go sub 33 seconds in this event, Daniel Doris. Giulia Terzi, though, goes for Italy in this first heat as the bronze medalist from Tokyo. 2-time World Championships medalist, 5th at the European Championships, off her times there, but there are 8 competitors who go in each of the heats. Tess Ratliff makes her way out of the call room now, but this is a pretty stacked heat, never mind final to come. Mackenzie Cohen, Naomi Ortiz, Julia Gaffney, Giulia Terzi, Tess Ratliff, Sarit Rodriguez, Iona Winifred, and Nicola St. Clair Maitland of Sweden in lane 8.
It is stacked, and a lot of them have different strengths. Mackenzie Cohen, really more of a 400 swimmer. We saw her swim to silver. Giulia Terzi medals in basically everything she swims. Winifred in the breaststroke. And so all of these swimmers, it's just one length of the pool in this 50 fly, but a very stacked heat.
So Ratliff looking ready for this race. Julia Gaffney going in lane 3. She was 5th in Tokyo. Swimming alongside her is Ortiz of Mexico. But watch out for Terzi going in lane 4. Mackenzie Cohen will go in 1. Ratliff in her 4th event in Paris, having picked up a bronze and a silver already. Silver in the 200 IM. Here's Gaffney.
Take your marks.
Getting away very well. Ratliff in lane 5 for Canada, the World Championship silver medalist this last year after bronze in 2022. Already 2 medals in her first 3 events. She's just behind Terzi, though, the Tokyo bronze medalist, as they come towards the 25-meter mark. Terzi leading.
Yeah, Terzi's leading, but watch Julia Gaffney, who seems to be closing on her hard, and Tess Ratliff is still hanging with Terzi, who seems to be fading slightly coming into the wall, and Ratliff trying to close this heat out first.
So Ratliff ahead of Terzi, ahead of Gaffney. Who's going to be at the wall? Ratliff ahead of Terzi, ahead of Gaffney. In that order, Rodriguez of Colombia finishes 4th, Winifred 5th, 6th for Cohen, Ortiz 7th, and 8th for St. Clair Maitland. But a 36.60 wins it by 0.04 of a second from Terzi. Gaffney 3rd. Very little separating the top 3.
So Ratliff off to a great start here. She gets in the water first. She's way ahead of Giulia Terzi, who had some ground to make up. Giulia Terzi, though, so strong during the middle of this, and Julia Gaffney coming back at both of them. So Ratliff able to hang on just enough to go 36.6, and she's only 4/100ths of a second ahead of the Italian. Now, Giulia Terzi, if she wants to medal, I would say she is most vulnerable in this 50 fly. It's only 1 lap.
36.60 beats 36.64. 37.03 for Gaffney. Chateau Rodriguez with a 37.74. Should be good enough for the final, but heat 2 to come. Eight competitors who go in the second heat. Somiera, Palian, Vargas, Doris, Wegeman, Nishida, Korsova, and Ibar of Dominican Republic. Doris goes as the defending champion. She obliterated the world record in the Tokyo final, going sub 33 seconds, the first and only person to do it in this event. She's the two-time and reigning world champion and will go in lane 4. As Naomi Somiera of Mexico will go in 1. Watch out for Sara Vargas, the 17-year-old who goes in 3. She was 4th at the World Championships after silver in 2022. Pan American Games silver medalist behind Chateau Rodriguez, though a little off her time.
Take your marks.
Tokyo silver medalist Wegeman as well, one to watch in lane 5. Twice a world champion in this event and already 200 iron gold here. 1 length of the pool in the women's 50 fly, and it's a commanding lead for Daniel Doris. She's leading by a body length before the 25.
Yep, Daniel Doris, I mean, you said it, she obliterated the world record in Tokyo. I don't think anyone expected her to go that quickly, and she's out way ahead again, just a little bit off her world record, and Wegeman trying to chase her down.
She's in the kind of form, though, where she could certainly swim another world record, maybe in the final to come. 33.70, she qualifies quickest by some way. 35.72 is an excellent time from Wegeman as well, who touches second. A 37.24 for Vargas of Colombia. She's comfortably through to the final. But Daniel Doris laying down a sensational marker, 33.70, by over 2 seconds from Wegeman in this heat.
Yeah, but remember Danielle Doris, she just went 33.7. She's capable of sub 33, the only swimmer in this classification who's gone under the 33 mark. So the battle tonight is Danielle Doris, she's going to get off to that quick speed. Can Wegeman chase her down? And then watch out for Tercy, Routliffe, and Gaffney from Heat 1, all of whom went 36 high times. And we'll see, that's going to be a tight race. Doris should be out first, but the rest of them battling for second and third.
So Nishida on well off her time at 38.05. She'll miss out on the final. The top 3, though, comfortably through. Doris ahead of Wegeman, ahead of Vargas. Ani Palian should sneak in as well, sub 38 seconds. So Daniel Doris is one of 2 Canadians, but by far the quickest into the final, ahead of Mallory Wegeman and Julie Gaffney, 2 Americans, Tercy, 2 Colombians as well, and Palian will go in the final. Men's 50-meter backstroke S4 heats. There are 2 to enjoy. 14 competitors across the heats. Roman Zhdanov, as the world record holder and defending champion from Tokyo, will go in lane 4 in the second heat. There is French representation in this heat. The 18-year-old Dimitri Grandjou goes in lane 2. Angel Camacho of Mexico has been swimming quickly in this distance. He'll fancy a medal.
You know, you can always tell when a French swimmer is coming up because the noise level in here just like shoots through the roof. It's like it's so loud.
What did you say? I can't hear you. Yeah, it's that kind of effect in this venue. La Défense Arena. Bear in mind, many aquatic centres only seats 3,000 or 4,000. Some 6, maybe 6,500. This repurposed venue seats 14,000 people, so the noise levels are incredible.
And incredible when a French swimmer is going, all of a sudden the flags go, the clapping starts, it's hard.
It is remarkable when you consider that you can't actually hear the swimmers' names being announced when they make their way from the call room in the finals. And when they win, there is much to celebrate. That's Arnos Petracek, Rio gold medalist and Tokyo silver medalist. You saw for a moment he swims alongside Camacho. Going for China in lane 3 is Zhou Liankang. Classed up to an S4, used to swim as an S3 swimmer, Zhou Liankang. Still a host of world records and won gold in this event as an S3 swimmer. Cristiani Granjou, So, Camacho, Petracek, Vinogradets and Luque go in this first heat of 2 in the men's 50-meter backstroke S4. Ukraine's Dmytro Vinogradets. Petracek, champion in Rio, silver medalist in Tokyo. The swimmers will plunge into the pool. Start from inside the water for the backstroke. The only event that'll see all swimmers start in the water. Now Camacho's sub 43 seconds this year. The Pan American Games champion. Petracek gets away really well. Camacho and Zo have work to do. Granjou is getting spurred on by the fans, but it's Petracek who's leading the way from Camacho, from Zo through the opening 25.
But Petracek really starting to get run down. He cannot keep up with that arm speed of Camacho right next to him, who's now going past him during the last 15 meters of this 50.
He's got some energy, has Camacho, and he's swimming well in Paris. This was his breakthrough event at the Paralympic Games, his first ever Paralympic Games medal, bronze in Tokyo. He touches first in the heat ahead of the Tokyo silver medalist, Aros Petracek. Third, 45.20 for Zolian, but a 43.08 for Angel Camacho. That's a very good result for the World Championship silver medalist and Pan American Games champion. He's only ever won bronze medals at the Paralympic Games. Maybe, just maybe, there is a silver or gold in his future.
You know, there's nothing wrong with a bronze medal.
I didn't say there was.
So here's the 50. Petracek, look at this start. He just soars on his back. But every time he swims, he seems to get run down by the other swimmers in this heat who have this faster turnover. And here's Camacho, just out touches him to go 43.08, a quick time from Camacho. So both of them should have no problem qualifying for finals.
Yeah, Angel Camacho qualifies for sure, knowing there are only 7 to come in the second heat, but Petracek and Zo with those times should qualify for the final. Even Vinogradets will fancy a place in the final. Ariel Malya, Andreas Ernhofer, Mats Topkin, Roman Zhdanov, Cameron Leslie, Jesus Hernandez and Joe Gisson go in the second heat. Cameron Leslie is the 2-time and reigning world champion, the 34-year-old New Zealander who hasn't medalled so far at Paris 2024. Ariel Malya goes in 1. There's the New Zealander, Leslie, but he's got the Tokyo gold medalist alongside him, the defending champion against the world champion. Leslie is the world champion. He finished just off the podium in the men's 50 freestyle here, but 3 times a Paralympic Games champion is Cameron Leslie. Should be a really good race between not only Zhdanov and Leslie, but Mats Topkin of Estonia in his only event in Paris. Was 4th at the last 3 World Championships, 3rd at the European Championships. He's swimming times that are good enough to challenge certainly Leslie and Zhdanov in the heats. Gets away really well, does Topkin of Estonia, the man from Tallinn. Cameron Leslie quickly into his stroke, and Zhdanov alongside Leslie going in lane 4.
Great start for Topkin. Now he comes up first. He's got the advantage of that underwater, but watch as Zhdanov and Leslie chase him down during this 50.
Good stroke rate from Cameron Leslie. Zhdanov is a little way behind, but Zhdanov has a great reach advantage over the New Zealander here. They look to be coming to the wall first and second, Leslie and Zhdanov. The world champion Leslie against the defending champion Zhdanov. Zhdanov's got the reach advantage. Will he hit the wall first? He does, only just from Leslie. Sub 43 seconds, 42.90 ahead of 43.05. Topkin does touch third, 46.24. So Zhdanov, the defending champion and the only swimmer to go sub 41 seconds in this event, has touched in 42.90, sub 43.
And there's Zhdanov. Whenever he swims, he's always so cool, calm, and collected. He's got that controlled stroke rate. He never goes too fast, never goes too slow. And here he is. He just, both of them soared past Topkin, who had the advantage on the start. And Leslie has to stroke faster in order to keep up with the reach of someone like Zhdanov, who just gets his hand on the wall first, 15/100ths of a second over Leslie. So Zhdanov 42.9, Leslie 43.05.
46.24 for Topkin. We'll see him comfortably into the final. Hernandez, sub 47 seconds, will get to the final as well. Vinogradec, fourth in the first heat, is just into the final. Petrocek only fourth fastest overall, but it's Zhdanov, Leslie and Camacho who qualify as the top three. Two heats to come in the men's 100-meter butterfly S12. Stephen Clegg, the world record holder. Rahman Makarov, the Paralympic Games record holder. That stood since Beijing in 2008. Two from Ukraine go in this first heat, which also features two neutral Paralympic athletes. Dmitry Horlin of Uzbekistan and Raman Salai of Azerbaijan. His brother will go in the second heat, Dmitry. There is Raman Salai of Azerbaijan, twice a World Championships medalist, including bronze in Manchester last year. He was silver medalist at the European Championships. Raman Salai, he's the defending champion. Goes in the first heat. As the world record holder Stephen Clegg goes in the second heat as favourite. That was Igor Kuzmin you saw for just a moment, the 19-year-old who won the European Championships. A lot of arm swinging going on here, just getting themselves ready. Plenty body slapping as well. Did you enjoy a little splash before getting into the pool?
I was very focused.
You didn't slap yourself repeatedly.
I'm very focused, just like now.
Yaroslav Denisenko, former World Championships medalist as well. He was third at the European Championships. So Kuzmin, Saleh and Denisenko finished 1, 2, 3, incidentally, at the European Championships. And here they are, swimming alongside one another in lanes 3, 4 and 5. Great start for Denisenko of Ukraine, third at the European Championships. Now Raman Salai is looking for an early lead here. 100-meter butterfly S12 classification. And Raman Salai is taking this out a little harder than Igor Kuzmin, who beat him at the European Championships. So too Yaremenko of Ukraine, looking fairly good.
Salai is out to that early lead. He looks to be pretty comfortable though. He's out in 26.74, so it's quick. And all he has to do though is finish first in this heat. You see him breathing. He breathed to his left there, so he could, you know, take a peruse of who else is in this heat, but out to a comfortable lead.
He knows that he didn't swim anywhere near his best at the European Championships in getting beaten by a 58, but he's a very comfortable 57-second swimmer, is Raman Salai, the defending champion. He's going to touch first at the wall in this first heat, and you get the sense as he hits the wall first, ahead of Kuzmin and Denisenko, with Vakshkevich finishing fourth and Yaremenko fifth, Horlin to the wall sixth, that his real competition is going to come from Clegg rather in the final. So Raman Salai takes it 58.16.
So here's Salai in that pink cap, and he's right next to Denisenko from Ukraine. Salai led this race, though, from start to finish. He went out hard, and he finished hard, and there wasn't really anybody in this heat that can challenge him. As you said, the challenge most likely going to come from Heat 2, where Salai is going to be racing his brother Dimitri and Stephen Clegg from Great Britain.
So, Roman Salai of Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan's most successful Paralympian, 58.16. He takes the first heat ahead of Kuzmin, the European champion. Sub 60 seconds for Denisenko as well, 59.77. Second heat features 7 competitors, including Great Britain's Stephen Clegg, the world record holder, who finished as Tokyo silver medalist behind Salai, Evan Wilkerson, Dung Jiachu, Dimitri Salai, the older brother of Rahman, the defending champion. Dimitri actually won gold in Beijing in S13 classification. Douglas Matera goes in 5 alongside Clegg, who goes in lane 4. Kilian Portal, the younger brother of Alex Portal, goes in lane 6. That's Dimitri Salai you saw for a moment. There's Stephen Clegg. And Daniel Giraldo of Colombia goes in lane 7. Kilian Portal, 400-meter freestyle bronze medalist. This is not one of his stronger events. It was 4th at the World Championships. Clegg gets away well, so too does Matera of Brazil, the Pan American Games gold medalist. The underwater is excellent from Stephen Clegg, and he's well ahead at the moment of Kilian Portal, who seems buoyed by the crowd.
Everything from Stephen Clegg is textbook in this butterfly stroke, but Kilian Portal just seems to be thriving on the energy from this crowd that is pushing him forward. Clegg out in 26.4. That is faster than what we saw during Heat 1. All Clegg really has to do is hold on and shut it down. Portal looked good during that first 50, but now starting to get caught by Salai and the others in this heat.
Matera should have a strong finish as well, the Brazilian. But it is Dimitri Salai and Kilian Portal who find themselves battling for second behind Stephen Clegg. The world record holder is not going to hit his mark here, but he'll comfortably sub 60 seconds. 57.63, will have lane 4 for the final. 58.59, Dimitri Salai will swim on the opposite side of Stephen Clegg to his brother Rahman come final time. Dimitri Salai, second in the heat, 3rd quickest to qualify for the final. And then Kilian Portal, 58.73, that'll see him through to the final. So too Douglas Matera with a 59.48.
That was a fast heat, all because of this guy, Stephen Clegg from Great Britain. He dives in first, he goes out quick. Kilian Portal, though, able to stay with him during that 50. I mean, you wonder what effect does this crowd have on someone like Kilian Portal, who swam to a bronze medal already in the 400 freestyle. Now the back half, Stephen Clegg, he kind of shut it down a little bit. He only went 57.63. His world record's a 57.675. So I think if he were able to stay on pace more during that last 25 meters, certainly the world record could be in jeopardy.
Clegg takes it ahead of Dimitri Salai. Kilian Portal qualifies 3rd quickest, and Matera's through to the final as well, sub 60 seconds. Stephen Clegg will qualify quickest for the final, ahead of the Salai brothers. The younger of them, Rahman, will have lane 5. Dimitri will have lane 3. Kilian Portal is in the final comfortably. So too Kuzmin, Matera as well. Vashkevich just sneaks in. 2 heats to come in the women's 100-meter freestyle S11. Set Brainsma's world record mark, 105.14. Li Guizhi, who will go in the second heat as the Paralympic Games record. The first heat features the world record holder, Lisette Brainsma, Tokyo silver medalist after Rio bronze medalist, looking for gold in Paris. Shevchenko, Tsai, Brainsma, Chang, Peitero of Argentina and Kachuk of Ukraine. go as the 6 competitors in the first heat of 2 in the women's 100-meter freestyle. Lisette Bruinsma, 2-time and reigning world champion. She was not denied at the European Championships either. Reitero, the Pan American Games gold medalist from Argentina. Took a host of golds in Santiago in Chile last year. Tsai Lee-wan and Zhang Xiaotong. That's Zhang Xiaotong. Go either side of the Dutch swimmer and world record holder Bruinsma. Zhang Xiaotong actually beat Tsai Lee-wan at the Asian Para Games. There's Kachuk of Ukraine. Shevchenko, Tsai, Bruinsma, Zhang, Reitero and Kachuk.
Your marks.
Getting away well in this 100-meter freestyle S11. Bruinsma leading the way only just from Tsai Lee-wan in the early stages of this race, and Zhang Xiaotong looking solid in third through the opening 25 meters. 2 lengths of the pool in freestyle.
So this is the S11 classification. All of the swimmers wearing either blackened goggles unless they have prosthetic eyes, and Bruinsma out for this early lead. Here she's going to get the tap. Now, Bruinsma, all she has to do really is hang on for this. Hang on. Her freestyle has been spot on during these games. Now, she has struggled in the past. She had Pagonis, which was a huge upset for her during Tokyo, but then she comes back in Paris and she wins the gold medal in the 400 by a commanding lead, and here she's way out ahead in this 100. She needs to just make sure she doesn't start to zigzag. She's getting caught a little bit right now by Zhang, but probably not enough room for Zhang to make up this time at the end of the 100, and Bruinsma is on the world record almost.
Bruinsma in Paralympic Games record time, touches in 1:05.23, only 900 of a second off her own world record. That is remarkably quick in the heats. Zhang Xiaotong touches in 1:06.95, but a 1:05.23. Bruinsma celebrating that time. She's just heard the time. 900ths of a second off her own world record, and you know she could go faster in the final. Zhang Xiaotong does finish ahead of Tsai Lee-wan, as she did at the Asian Para Games as well. Bruinsma will take that.
And here's Bruinsma right before the block. Her start is so fast. Look, she dives into the water first, phenomenal reaction time. She gets right up into her stroke, and what Bruinsma did here that she doesn't always do is she was straight. Then she gets the tap, she charges into the finish. You can see the hands are always first. Finishes in a 1:05.23. I wonder if she was surprised by that time. I mean, that was quick for prelims.
So Bruinsma ahead of Zhang, ahead of Tsai Lee-wan. Bruinsma in Paralympic Games record time, 1:05.23, takes heat 1. So very fast heat 1. How fast will they go in heat 2? It features the fastest in the world this year in Daria Lukyanenko. It also features the Tokyo gold medalist in Li Guixi, who's been off her times. Alcazar, Pidobna, Ishura, Lukyanenko, Pagonis, Lee and Blatanova go in this second heat.
Your marks.
Lukianenko's taken down a few marks already in Paris 2024, including world records. She'll be looking to go really fast in this event. But as it stands, it's Ishiura who looks to be leading the way ahead of Lukianenko, who's closing.
But Lukianenko, usually not the first out during the first few parts of the race, and also Li Guizhi, she's just ahead of Lukianenko, but watch Lukianenko during the back half every single time. You know, she's never out first, but then she comes from behind, and she's not even the straightest swimmer of everyone else. It's her stroke that's so fast, and she just manages to pass everybody, and this is exactly what she's doing right now. Was not out first, didn't even turn first, and now she's ahead of everyone else.
Watch Pagonis.
Yeah.
How about Pagonis? Look at this for speed. Anastasia Pagonis has come from way back. She touched fourth at the 50, and Pagonis might even win this. Lukianenko is going to touch first, just ahead of Pagonis. A 107.77 beats 108.13. Third is Li Guizhi in 109, and fourth is Ishiura, 109.83. But a 107.77, so some way off Brainspar's 105.23. But how about that closing speed from Pagonis?
Well, Pagonis has not seen a podium yet here. I mean, she's the world record holder in the 400, but was kept off of the podium. It's Lukianenko who has really had the breakout meet in this classification. And remember, in Tokyo, Pagonis kind of shot through out of nowhere. And that Lukianenko seems to be doing something similar here, and you know, she's got that strong closing speed. Although I'll give it to you, Pagonis really closed hard here.
Yeah, she did. And what she did was she hit the lane rope early on in the closing 50, did Pagonis, but then she swam down the lane rope dead straight. All the goggles being inspected for the swimmers who are required to swim with blackened goggles to ensure that there is no sight for the swimmers in the S11 classification through the race. So once the goggles have been inspected, we can confirm the times, and I can tell you that Lukianenko is officially the winner of Heat 2. Lukianenko ahead of Pagonis, ahead of Li Guizhi, the Tokyo gold medalist. Ishiura sub 110. She's going to get through to the final fairly comfortably. I think Pidubna just sneaks in. She does, 111.21. Paralympic Games record, though, 105.23 from Lisette Brainsma in the first heat. She qualifies quickest, but 3 from China will go in this final. Two heats to come in the men's 200-meter freestyle S3. Wang Wenpan, the world record holder, at 3:09.04. That is a time that nobody's really come close to since he set that world record. Umur Unlu is, well, he must be on cloud 9 given his historic gold medal on day 9 of competition. He won gold in the 50-meter freestyle S3 here, the first male swimmer from Turkey to win a para-swimming medal at the Paralympic Games. And he didn't win bronze, he didn't win silver, he got gold. Goes in lane 4. Diego Lopez, the Tokyo silver medalist, goes alongside him, though, in lane 3. That's Zarate who'll go alongside his compatriot Lopez in lane 2. Sergei Palamarchuk is the Rio bronze medalist. He goes in 5 alongside Unlu, to Unlu's right. And Lechniak of Poland going in 6. And there is Yanis Kostakis of Greece. 52-year-old swims alongside Lechniak, who goes in 6. It's Lopez. Here's Palamarchuk, the Rio bronze medalist. Kostakis of Greece, who goes in 7. He's 52 now. He was a 32-year-old when he won bronze in the 100-meter freestyle in Athens in 2004. celebrating his first Paralympic Games medal in front of his home fans. What an occasion that was for Kostakis. The question, I suppose, is whether or not Unlu has the endurance to hold his speed for 4 lengths of the pool. Over 50, he claimed gold. Lechniak, entering from the side of the pool, will make his way to lane 6. Ahead of the start of the men's 200-meter freestyle S3. All the swimmers in this first heat start from the water. They get away now for 4 lengths of the pool in freestyle. And in this freestyle event, it is Unlu who's off to a really quick start, the 50-meter freestyle gold medalist. But Lopez, Palamarchuk, Zarate, all still within striking distance. This is effectively an event that is the distance event for swimmers in the S3 classification, the longest distance the swimmers in S3 classification will swim at the Paralympic Games. So pacing very much comes into it.
That's right, and you see Unlu, so he had that phenomenal swim during the 50, but now as the swimmers approach the end of the first of 4 laps here, he's getting chased down by Palamarchuk from Ukraine, who's got that longer reach, a little bit of a steadier stroke. And the 200, as you mentioned, is the longest event for this classification. This is the S3 class, so relatively low. A lot of these swimmers have a wide variety of impairments, and it affects them in different ways. They're also employing different techniques with respect to their strokes. You might even see 1 or 2 swimmers start to use backstroke at some point in this race. And also, as part of the start, almost all, if not all, of the swimmers had assistance during the blocks. They held them in place to make sure they didn't start swimming before the gun actually went off to start the race. And Unlu hanging on during as we get to the halfway mark.
Unlu showing some real strength. He's only been a para swimmer for the last 5 years, has Unlu. He's really improved his times dramatically over the last few years, so much so that he was on top of the podium in the 50 free. A man who's been on top of the podium at the Paralympic Games before is Diego Lopez. He's holding on for 3rd at the moment, but he's been well off his times in Paris. And in his favorite event, he finished 6th in the 50 freestyle final. And in his second favorite event, the 50 backstroke, he was 5th. So somewhat surprising not to see Diego Lopez on the podium yet in Paris. This is his last chance, his final event. Palamarchuk, though, currently in 2nd. Former World Championship bronze medalist. He was just off the podium at the European Championships. At Unlu, he was a bronze medalist at the European Championships. Was 4th at the last World Championships, just behind Palamarchuk. But at 150, he's in front by a very, very comfortable margin.
He is, you know. I don't know. You were pretty excited during the 50 swim. What are you going to do if he wins the 200 now?
Well, it was a historic occasion.
And he's out way ahead of the other swimmers. He's got clean water to his left and to his right. And look how comfortable he is right now. I mean, you wonder, is he starting to shut it down? This is 4 lengths of the pool. It is the distance event for the S3 classification. If the swimmers expend too much energy, it could really use up a lot of what they have left in the tank for finals. But Unlu coming to yet another historic swim in the 200, well ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, he's gonna go well lower than the 3:31 that he swam at the European Championships here. He might even better his own personal best. He does by 6 seconds. At 3:20.29 seconds. Unlu is on fire in Paris. What an incredible swim. Umar Unlu. And it's going to be Palamarchuk just ahead of Lopez, I think. Indeed it is. Palamarchuk ahead of Lopez. They finish within 600ths of a second of one another in 3:34s. Lechniak comes to the wall now, and he touches in 3:46.73 for 4th. Zarate and Kostakis Still in the pool. There is Sarate in lane 2. Into the final 5 meters and touches in 4:03, so some way outside his best. Yannis Kostakis, the bronze medalist from Athens in the 100-meter freestyle, having won that Paralympic Games medal in front of his home fans. What an occasion that was 20 years ago. Now at the age of 52, comes to the wall. A man that has served as the General Secretary of the Hellenic Paralympic Association in Greece. He gets an enormous roar, Kostakis. These athletes appreciated for their efforts. But how about that? A massive PB for Unlu, 3:20.29.
Big swim for Unlu, and he commanded this race from start to finish. He got out to that early lead. It looked like Palamarchuk was going to try and maybe give him a run for his money, but quickly faded. And Unlu demonstrating that not only does he have the speed in the sprint, he's also got it in the 200. Now, here's the start. What you see in this classification is that almost every single one, if not all of these swimmers, had some assistance on the start. They have to either hold them in place or keep them so they don't start swimming before the gun actually goes off. That all has to be pre-cleared before the start of the race. Unlu, though, gets his hand on the wall ahead way first. A nice race here between Palamarchuk and Lopez Diaz. You have to wonder, did they go all out? How much more do they have left? And big smile here from Unlu, who just set a massive PB of 3:20.29.
It's been a while for Turkey, where the women have dominated in the pool. The likes of Sumaya Boyachi and Sevilay Öztürk, but Umut Unlu, a gold medalist already, and a massive PB, takes heat 1 by nearly 15 seconds. Chateau of Thailand, a legendary trailblazer from Thailand, goes in 1-2. From Italy in Marigliano and Boni. Ostapchenko goes in lane 4 for Ukraine. Germany's top in 5. Ferrer of Spain in 6. And Grant Patterson in 7. 2 bronzes already in Paris in the 50 breast and the 150 IM for Patterson, but this is not his strongest stroke for Grant Scooter Patterson. Now, all the competitors, bar Kausri and Topf, will start in the water. And one of the significant differences in para swimming, the flexibility of the starting positions. Topf gets away nicely in lane 5. He was 6th in Tokyo, but he's improved his times considerably over the last 3 years. The Tokyo gold medalist, though, is Ostapchenko, who will swim backstroke in this 200-meter freestyle S3 race, and he's got a very, very quick turnover in the backstroke event. Now, Topf and Ostapchenko have had a few battles over the years, but Ostapchenko, the reigning world champion, the defending champion, should be the swimmer to beat in the 200 free, and already making up ground on Topf.
Right, Topf gets out with that early lead. He's able to get a bit more off the blocks than someone like Ostapchenko. Ostapchenko, though, what he does is he uses a single arm backstroke, and his stroke rate is so high. Now you're going to see him slam into the wall. He quickly turns, gets nothing off of the turn, and goes right back into his stroke. And it's hard to explain, but that's so difficult because the swimmer loses all of their speed going into the wall when they don't actually have a push-off. So any momentum that they had gone. It's so important then that you get right back into your stroke and you build back all of that speed. It also means that some of the swimmers in this event could potentially be negative splitting their race, meaning that the back half might actually be quicker than the front half. So watch Ostapchenko, who is capable of swimming a race like that.
Ostapchenko is pulling out a commanding lead. Vincenzo Boni is making his way steadily through the second 50 and is closing in on Topf at the moment, the Italian who uses the double arm backstroke. But Ostapchenko at 1:38.03 touches at the halfway mark, well in front, a commanding lead. Boni and Topf look to come to the wall effectively together. Boni with that double arm backstroke has got himself into second. Topf gets a little more off the wall.
But Topf has a hard time keeping pace throughout all 4 laps of this 200. you can see Boney using that double arm backstroke, and so it's a slower stroke than someone like Ostapchenko who's using the single arm backstroke, but double arm backstroke, which is typically a drill used, it's more like a warm down drill or a recovery drill, but what it does is it allows you to maximize the amount of water that you're pulling under, and it's also a little bit easier on the shoulders. You don't have to rotate so much. But Top really trying to hang on against Boney right now.
Ostapchenko, 2:31.4. He touches at the 150. He's got a lead of 20-odd meters now on top. And the Italian Boney going in lane 3, touches second. Ostapchenko, 25 meters to go. Very comfortably in front, the world champion in 2023 after silver in 2022. Silver at the European Championships. But that stroke rate has not really decreased throughout this heat. He'll come to the wall comfortably in front and touch at 3:21.28, nearly 25 meters ahead of Boney and Top, who are still enjoying a battle for second between themselves. Top, who just got himself in front of Boney, finding some closing speed. The German, twice a medalist already in Paris.
And Grant Patterson closing nicely to come to fourth.
Patterson sub 4 minutes, 3:56. That's the best time he's gone in years in this event.
Yeah, that's a great time for him.
And Marigliano to the wall now in 4:07. As Kosri, an artist, not only in the pool but out, quite literally. A mouth and foot painter in Thailand as well. To the wall in 4:25. Ostapchenko, the world champion, dominated this heat. 3:21, doesn't qualify as quickly as Unlu from the first heat, but will have lane 5 for the final.
So here you can see at the start the variety of the starting positions. Ostapchenko actually starts with the hand above the water, almost in ready position, so that as soon as the gun goes off, he can immediately get into his stroke rate. Top, out with that early lead. He's got that great dive going in, and then Ostapchenko, once he gets into his stroke, he gets into his backstroke. Really nobody else in this heat is anywhere close to him. He won this race by like 25 meters. Now, the thing here is that Unlu went 3:20.29 and Ostapchenko 3:21.28, so they're separated by a second. That's going to be a tight race between Unlu, who we know has the speed, and Ostapchenko, who we know has the endurance.
So Ostapchenko takes heat 2. Ostapchenko will qualify second fastest. Unlu will be flanked by 2 from Ukraine. Palamarchuk in lane 3, Ostapchenko in lane 5 as he swims in lane 4. Diego Lopez Diaz will go as well as the 4th quickest qualifier for the final. 3 heats to come in the women's 200-meter individual medley SM5. Natalia Ziani, the world record holder, at 3:13.43. The only person who's come close to those times, He Xiong'ao, will go in the 3rd heat. Lu Dong, though, is the defending champion. The 32-year-old, 4 goals already in Paris, will go as the favorite in the first of these 3 heats. Giulia Giretti, Berta Garcia, and Tuña Felices of Peru will go in lane 7. Canada's Hannah Ouellet going in 2, and Gabriela Oviedo of Colombia, just 13, goes in lane 3. There's Ouellet of Canada, the 18-year-old, at her first Paralympic Games. In her 4th event, seeking a first final. Giretti going in 5. She was 4th in Tokyo, just off the podium. Behind her compatriot, Monica Buggioni, who will go in the 3rd heat. There's Oviedo, she's only 13. Bronze medalist at the Pan American Games. Very comfortably sub 4 minutes in this event.
Take your marks.
So getting away in the women's 200-meter individual medley SM5. 4 lengths of the pool, 1 in each of the strokes. And the lead of Lu Dong has been established owing to her underwater in itself. Now Lu Dong fly in the first leg and then into the backstroke, then into breaststroke and finishing with free. But Lu Dong is somebody seeking a 5th gold medal in Paris and a 10th gold medal at the Paralympic Games overall.
She'll be tough to beat here. She's already out to a commanding lead in the butterfly, but one thing that these Chinese swimmers who are entirely on their legs struggle with in the 200 is maintaining that lead throughout all 4 strokes once the legs start to tire, and the swimmers who are more on their arms can pick it up a little bit. So now Lu Dong getting into the backstroke. So she flips on, she's gonna do a fly kick on her back for the entire 50. Giulia Giretti from Italy though, now flipping on to backstroke. We'll expect to see some of the other swimmers start to make up a little bit of ground on Lu Dong if possible.
This is where Ouellette of Canada might get herself into the top 3. Oviedo, though, is still looking strong in lane 3. Giretti looks really good in lane 5 and is challenging Oviedo for 2nd. But Lu Dong is leading by a very comfortable margin. Looks to be taking it fairly easy as well.
She is. Her kick really slowed down a lot. She's not even breaking the surface at all with her legs. Now she's coming into the final. She's going to switch and now get into the breaststroke. She's so far ahead. Really all she has to do is win her heat here, and she can see the other swimmers and how far ahead she is.
So into breaststroke, and that was a great visual of just the leg power of Lu Dong. The entire race on her legs by the closing 50. That is a lot of endurance.
You know, it is, and we talk about Lu Dong so much, but we have to be careful because there's 3 heats of the women's 200-meter individual medley for the class SM5. So while someone like Lu Dong, who's so far ahead, can afford to kind of back off a little bit, the other swimmers in the heat cannot, because this class is so competitive. And so if they take it too easy during prelims, they are in significant danger of not qualifying for finals.
Now Oviedo is just falling away behind Giretti, who in the breaststroke leg is pulling away the 30-year-old from Parma, is making up ground even on Lu Dong here. Silver at the European Championships for Giretti, who won her first Paralympic Games gold medal here in Paris, incidentally, in her favorite event, the 100-meter breaststroke. And she's made up significant ground on Lu Dong and taken the possibility of 2nd in the heat away from Oviedo. She touches 2:51.92, 2nd at the wall behind Lu Dong, who touched in 2:39. So Lu Dong leading by over 10 meters, and that is not the kick of somebody who is looking to finish strong. That's the kick of somebody who is very happy to just glide to the wall. 15 meters to go, well ahead of Giretti. A commanding lead built up in the opening 100 allowed Lu Dong to take it easy in the closing stages. Not expending as much energy in the heats, only enough to secure gold by a fairly secure the win by a fairly comfortable margin in the heat. because she wants to challenge for gold come the final. She knows she's up against some very tough competitors for the medal placings. Giretti touches in 3:47.28, over 11 seconds back. Oviedo to the wall now in 3:55.01, and that might not be enough to see her into the final. Garcia makes her way to the wall now. Touches fourth for Spain in 4:10.99. Ana Ulet and Dunya Felices still in the pool. Ulet of Canada in lane 2, and Dunya Felices in her only event in Paris representing Peru. Will touch now the 34-year-old in 4:31.7. 4:29.42 for Willett of Canada. Ludong takes the heat in 3:36.21.
So Ludong gets out, such a powerful start. And really, just as soon as she took off from the block, she was way ahead of everyone else. Went to a commanding lead in butterfly and just put it on cruise control for the rest of it. You see her turning now from breaststroke to freestyle, and every step of the way, she never really gave up the lead at all, and she did not have to expend too much energy at all. That was more like a training swim for Ludong.
Ludong comfortable to the wall by over 11 seconds. She hit the touchpad ahead of Giulia Giretti of Italy. Oviedo, the only other swimmer, sub 4 minutes, 3:55.01 for the 13-year-old Colombian. There are still 14 swimmers to go in the heats. Times are important. Cheng Jiao goes as the Rio champion in the 150 IM SM4, Tokyo silver medalist in the SM5 in the 200 IM, and is one of the fastest in the world this year. 3-time Paralympic Games champion. Silver at the last World Championships though, behind He Xiongao. Cheng will go in 4. Mari of Japan will go in 5. Soline Sachet of France will go in 6. Natalia Pavlyukova goes in 7. Malaka Abdel Shafi of Egypt goes in 1. Maria Tsivileki of Greece in 2. And Sevile Öztürk, a bronze medal in the 50 fly here, goes in lane 3. So Sachet of France going in 6. Cheng starts from inside the pool. Shin Abdel Shafi in the water for the start of the women's 200 IM SM5. Second heat is underway. Abdel Shafi and Cheng both get away well, but the underwater from Sevile Öztürk should see her well out in front through the butterfly leg, then into the backstroke, then into the breaststroke, and then finishing with fly already. Cheng Jiao has found her stroke in the fly. And the silver medalist at the last World Championship finds herself catching Öztürk, who is well in front with 15 meters to go to the 50.
Öztürk, though, is not going to be able to keep pace with someone like Cheng Jiao, who has, you know, look at her stroke. She's just passing Öztürk right now in that butterfly. This is only the first lap. So now we come into the backstroke, and you see Öztürk has the advantage on the start. She's got the advantage on the walls, and that means that Cheng Jiao has to play catch up every single lap. But she is up to the challenge.
Cheng Jiao is certainly up to the challenge. She's gone 3:24 over the last year. The winning time from the first heat, 3:36, as Ludong just shut it down. Backstroke is very much Öztürk's bread and butter. Her fly and her back are really strong, so her opening 100 should be good, and Öztürk is leading from Cheng Jiao. But Öztürk knows there's still breaststroke to come. And that is where Cheng Zhao should power her way past the Turkish swimmer.
That's right, and Ozturk and Cheng Zhao out way ahead of everyone else. You can barely see anyone else on your screen. So Ozturk turning now at the 100. Now they're going to move into breaststroke. Typically the order changes among the swimmers in the breaststroke as they come in. So Cheng Zhao not breathing every stroke, and Ozturk now into what is perhaps her weakest leg of the breaststroke, and Cheng Zhao is now just past Ozturk.
So Ozturk has been left behind in the breaststroke leg. As expected, Cheng Zhao just getting into her breaststroke really quickly and has motored her way in front. 25 meters of the breaststroke, and she's increased her lead over Ozturk by a good 5-6 meters, having turned some way behind Ozturk at the wall at the 100 mark. Cheng Zhao will close it out in the freestyle leg. Watch Yui Maori as well, the 21-year-old who's yet to medal at the Paralympic Games, but bronze medalist at the last World Championships, is an excellent breaststroker. Might make up ground on Ozturk, is making up ground, but might make up enough ground to actually overhaul Ozturk before the 150. But Cheng Zhao at 2:41.05 into the wall at the 150, significantly ahead of Yui and Ozturk, who are coming to the wall now.
And just look at that. Cheng Zhao was behind Ozturk in the backstroke, and now she's about 25 meters ahead of her. That's how good Cheng Zhao's breaststroke leg was. And now Cheng Zhao can afford, if she wants, to shut it down during this freestyle. She looks comfortable. She doesn't look like she's going all out right now. I mean, I think there's a question of whether or not I think she is going to beat Lu Dong's time from the heat 1 and just come to a comfortable swim during heat 2 of this 200-meter individual medley.
Certainly going to qualify quicker than Lu Dong's time of 3:36, 3:30.05. It's comfortable for Cheng Zhao. So Cheng Zhao takes heat 2. Yui Maori of Japan will come to the wall now second, and Sevile Ozturk, after that great lead through the opening 100, will drive her way to the wall. Great leg drive from Sevile Ozturk, particularly in the fly and the backstroke. Comes home just outside 4 minutes. And that might mean she does not make the final. Sivileki of Greece, a 4:44 swimmer in Manchester. She's just gone 4:17 here in Paris. Sasha having touched fourth, Pavlyukova now to the wall in 4:28.15. And Malak Abdel Shafi of Egypt in her second event at Paris 2024, her last event. Very much a breaststroker, swimming the IM for the first time at a major international competition. Touches now in 4:52. Cheng Zhao, a 3:30.05. She qualifies fastest for the final so far. We've still got one heat to come in the women's 200 IM SM5.
And here is heat 2 of the 200 IM. Ozturk went out with that really early and commanding lead and flying back, and then this is where Cheng Zhao made her move. She soared past Ozturk in the breaststroke. Now she finishes about 15 meters ahead of Ozturk. What a breaststroke from Cheng Zhao. And then she just held on to that lead during the freestyle. She went a 3:30.05, well ahead of Lu Dong from the People's Republic of China, and certainly putting herself into medal contention for the finals.
So Cheng Zhao qualifying quickest so far. Yui Maori 3:46 should be into the final as well. Sevile Ozturk might be in danger of missing out. The third and final heat of the women's 200 IM SM5, featuring Thailand, Turkey, Brazil, China, Italy, Canada, and neutral Paralympic athlete Irina Deviatova. Now watch out for the Tokyo bronze medalist Monica Boggioni. But the star swimmer here is the reigning world champion, He Xiong'ao, who goes in lane 4. She swam at the Asian Para Games a class up and posted a 3:15, a class up to finish 4th. There's Clémence Paré of Canada, who goes in lane 7. Going in lane 6 is Deviatova. Boccioni is alongside her in lane 4. Stephanie Rodriguez of Brazil goes in 3. And the 15-year-old from Turkey, Tunug, goes in 2. Ongnontapum of Thailand in lane 1.
Take your marks.
Paré gets away nicely for Canada in lane 7. He Xiong'ao gets away well, and her underwater, you should see her well in front. She's a good 5 meters in front already. He Xiong'ao, so dominant is her underwater. Fantastic streamline. She's got the leg drive. This is the fly leg, then into the backstroke before breaststroke, and then free to finish. Now, I wonder how He Xiong'ao is going to be taking this out, because she's gone 3:15 over the last year. So that's very close to Ziani's world mark of 3:13. But how quickly is she likely to go in the heats, knowing that she's got the ability to qualify very, very comfortably by just shutting it down?
Yeah, I don't think she's going to challenge the world record during the preliminaries. All she has to do, really, is win her heat and not disqualify. You saw Rodriguez, though, from Brazil. She went out pretty hard during that butterfly. Now, we talk about how the Chinese swimmers of Lu Dong and Cheng Zhao and He Xiong'ao, they can take it pretty easy, but that's just not the case for the others, because if they go too slowly, because there are so many swimmers in this classification, there's 3 heats of this, they can't afford to go too slow, because then they're going to miss out on the finals. And Rodriguez trying to come back here in this backstroke.
Yeah, Rodriguez is a very good fly stroker, not a bad backstroker either is Rodriguez, but this is where Boccioni should be looking to catch her. Rodriguez won gold at the Pan American Games in Santiago, but Boccioni, the European champion, is going to come past her here. She won the World Championships in 2022, did Boccioni, where He was not swimming, but He did swim in Manchester and won the World Championships by a very, very comfortable margin. And she's well in front here and taking it very easily in the breaststroke leg. She's ahead of Boccioni by nearly 15 meters. Rodriguez currently 3rd for Brazil. But it's about posting qualifying times, not about your position in this race. But you would not expect anything other than China 1, 2, 3 as the fastest qualifiers come the final.
That's right. And He Xiong'ao swimming this race similar to how Lu Dong was. She was out ahead in the fly in the back. Now she's really just shutting it down in the breaststroke. She is well ahead of everyone else. Boccioni, though, from Italy, having a beautiful breaststroke leg right here.
So Boccioni, she's made up a little bit of ground on the Chinese swimmer in this breaststroke leg. But her to the wall in 2:34.86.
And now He Xiong'ao has completely shut it down in the freestyle. She's 15 meters ahead of Boccioni, who comes into the freestyle. Boccioni is having a decent swim. She's now coming into her freestyle. She's well ahead of 3rd. Boccioni, as long as she keeps this up, should be able to qualify for the finals, which is all that she needs to do.
He Xiong'ao, still only 19 years old. The reigning world champion has completely shut it down. Boccioni is coming back at her, but He Xiong'ao's got the ability to pull away if she so chooses. Boccioni's got to fly past her in the closing stages.
You wonder if He Xiong'ao meant to shut it down that much.
So coming to the wall first then in heat 3, 3:35.39. So we'll have lane 5 for the final. Monica Boccioni touches ahead of her, who touches in 3:38. So China have 3 of the top 4 fastest qualifiers for the final. Stephanie Rodriguez now 3:51.90. She comes to the wall. Here's the 15-year-old Tunug of Turkey, one of the rising stars of Turkey. The 15-year-old who posted 4:48 in 2022, 4:23 last year, and went 4:14 at the European Championships. She's gone 4:19 to touch fifth here. Clémence Paré comes to the wall now in 4:28. And Wilasini Wongnontapom of Thailand in a third and final event. More of a freestyler, touches now in 4:45. So Boccioni brings it home for Italy in the third and final heat. He Shangao shut it down considerably in the closing 100. Finds herself passed by Boccioni.
And you have to wonder, did He Shangao intend to shut it down that much that she actually got passed during the final 50 of this 200 IM? I mean, He Shangao was out there with over a 15-meter lead ahead of Boccioni. Boccioni, to her credit, had a beautiful breaststroke leg. She really came back, and then a remarkable freestyle, and she soared right past her. He Shangao actually slower than both Lu Dong and Cheng Zhao. Wow.
Boccioni can put together 4 really good lengths of the pool. The reigning European champion, very strong backstroker, very strong breaststroker, and fast to finish. Boccioni touches first at 3:35.39 in heat 3, ahead of He Shangao, the world champion. With Stephanie Rodriguez at 3:51.90. That'll get her into the final as well. These are the 8 swimmers who go. 3 from China. Italy have 2 in Boccioni and Giretti. Japan's Yu Mari is in. Stephanie Rodriguez gets into the final, and so too the 13-year-old from Colombia, Gabriela Oviedo, who has made her first final at a Paralympic Games. So 3 heats in the women's 200 IM SM5 to finish the morning session. And that's all the action in the pool for now. The penultimate session of the para swimming at Paris 2024. You got to look at Brainsmart's Paralympic record in the women's 100 freestyle S11 as one of the standout performances.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see how that race unfolds tonight during the finals, and I wonder, is Pagonis going to try and challenge Brensma? Those two have a rivalry going since Tokyo. Another great one is going to be the women's 200-meter IM. Is China going to sweep it, or is Boccioni going to come out and prevent that from happening? And of course, do not forget about the 100 fly between Jessica Long and Alice Tai. That should be good.
So, a few upsets already in the heats, a few quicker qualifiers than were expected. We've got 1 session of the para swimming remaining at Paris 2024. People's Republic of China topping the medals tables through 9 days of competition. There are only 15 gold medal events to be contested still in the para swimming at Paris 2024. 16 victory ceremonies for you to enjoy as well in the finals edition. from the Paris Stade de France arena as the spectators, thousands of them, begin to file their way out of the venue. It is time for us to get out of here as well. That concludes then the preliminary session on day 10 of the Paris swimming competition of Paris 2024. We look forward to your company for the final session. It should be utterly captivating. But for now then, it's goodbye.